Hello, and welcome to an episode about a fascinating scientist. When you write an address, use a calculator, or even scroll on your phone, you're actually relying on ideas that were developed over 1,000 years ago by one person, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khawarizmi. Most people have never heard his name, but his work is part of our everyday lives. Al-Khawarizmi was born around the year 780 AD in a region called Khawarizm, which is in modern-day Uzbekistan, and where also he got his name from. Not much is known in detail about his childhood, but historians believe he showed signs of intelligence and curiosity at a very young age. His family later moved to Baghdad, which at the time was one of the most important centers of learning in the world. Growing up in Baghdad gave him the access to something incredibly rare at that time, a massive collection of knowledge from different civilizations. He studied mathematics, astronomy, and geography, learning from both Greek and Indian sources. This was during what we now call the Islamic Golden Age, a time when science and education were thriving in Central Asia. As a young adult, Al-Khwarizmi became a scholar at the Beit al-Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom, which was basically the most advanced research center of its time. There, he worked alongside other scholars, translating ancient texts and building on them. With the support from Sultan al-Ma'mun, he was able to focus entirely on research and writing. One of his most important contributions was a book called Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala, or the Compendious Book on Calculation by Completion and Balancing. Yeah, that's a long name, just call it Al-Jabr. This book introduced methods for solving linear and quadratic equations, something that had never really been done before. In fact, the word algebra comes from the Arabic word al-jabr, which is part of the title of his book. Because of this, he is often called the Father of Algebra. Another major contribution from Al-Khawarizmi is something we use constantly today without thinking about it: algorithms. His name was actually Latinized into Algorithmi, which is where the word algorithm comes from. Algorithms are step-by-step instructions used to solve problems, and today they power everything from Google searches to social media apps to artificial intelligence. He also played a key role in spreading the number system we use today, the numbers 0 through 9. These are often called the Arabic numerals because they were introduced to the wider world through Muslim scholars like Al-Khawarizmi. He helped explain how the system worked, including the concept of zero, and refined each shape so that each number had its equivalent in interior angles. For example, 4 had 4 angles, 7 had 7, and so forth. This made calculations much simpler compared to older systems like Roman numerals. Beyond math, Al-Khawarizmi also contributed to geography. He worked on a project under Sultan al-Ma'mun to create a map of the known world. Sailors often returned with different maps and findings, so the Sultan wanted one unified map. Al-Khawarizmi led a team of scholars who improved earlier maps and made them more accurate. His work helped expand understanding of the Earth and geography at that time. In 850 CE, Al-Khawarizmi passed away at the age of 70 in Baghdad. Now, something that often doesn't get talked about is what happened to his work later on. During the European Enlightenment, many of his writings were translated into Latin and used widely in European universities. However, in many cases, his contributions were not fully credited, and his ideas were absorbed into European knowledge without proper recognition. So while his influence was huge, his name wasn't always given the attention it deserved in Western history. Even so, his impact on modern society is impossible to ignore. Algebra is still a core part of education around the world. The concept of zero and algorithms are the foundation of computers and technology. The number system he helped spread is used in everything from banking to engineering. So even though Muhammad al-Khawarizmi lived over 1,200 years ago, his ideas are still shaping the world we live in today. Every time you solve a problem, use technology, or even just write down a number, you are continuing the legacy of his work. And that's what makes his story so important. It shows how one person's curiosity and dedication to learning can influence the entire future of human knowledge. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions, please put them in the comment section below. Thank you very much and have a nice day.